the coronavirus has caused many conversations regarding the root cause and the possibility that governments are either lying to us or not telling us the truth in order to control populations more. Population control has many forms, and it's not always a secret or a lie. In 1979, China had a law that you could only have one child. It was population control because the government was scared of the rapid population growth. So they were upfront and they said, look, you cannot have more than one child. In 2013, they kind of relaxed that rule a little bit, but that was a form of population control. Some people say that when we get into wars, governments and powers to be are using it to kill off people to control the population. Some people say for money, power, we don't have enough resources, we don't have enough oil, we don't have enough food to feed populations if they continue to grow at a certain rate. So again, whenever you have a either a natural disaster or a man-made disaster or a major issue that affects a lot of society, you have the conversation coming up that the powers to be are doing things to control the population. You can say that religion is a form of population control. When the Europeans came and colonized America, they forced the Native Americans to adopt Christianity to make them more civil and obedient. Also did that with slavery. Because there's scriptures in the Bible that say slaves should obey their slave master. There's scriptures in the Bible that says you should submit to authority. So Christianity is good. I've adopted different parts of my life. It's really helped me. And there's slavery in Islam. There's slavery in Jewish texts. So slavery was just part of human existence. However, there are parts of religion that teach a level of submissiveness to ruling authority, and it creates a more civil society. If you research how the Bible was put together, it was put together because that the Roman Empire wanted to control religion. They didn't want like people just preaching whatever they want. Sorry, if this religion, because at one time certain religions were outlawed. In China, religions are outlawed now. Religions could be used as a good thing because also on the flip side, the civil rights movement in America in the 1960s or so, Martin Luther King used faith and Christianity as a way to free people. Even Malcolm X had his own discipline with his faith in Islam. So there's different. Faith can be used, religion, quote unquote, can be used as a good thing, but it can also be used as a form of control and manipulation. Like even in the movie with Denzel Washington, The Book of Eli, that's kind of what it was about. Like Denzel Washington was after the nuclear fallout, and it looked very similar to the coronavirus because everyone was walking around like with scarves, like covering their face and stuff. Denzel Washington in this fictional place after a nuclear fallout, he was the only person left on earth that had the Bible. And he kept it secret and he wouldn't share it with anyone. And the evil person that was trying to start up society again wanted the Bible because not to preach the good part, but to use it to control the population, to make them more submissive, to organize them. Money. We're talking about faith, and now we go into money. Money is a form of control. Money makes people do certain things in society and then rewards them accordingly. Okay. There's a scripture that says, at the root of all evil is money. If we were really a society, let's say we were really a society based on faith, treat others how you want to be treated. Jesus was more of a socialist than a capitalist. He healed people for free. He forgave for free. He was very much a socialist. So capitalism itself is really not religion based. However, America's not supposed to be religion based, and even many Islamic countries, um, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a different way of viewing things. Some of them are ruled by law. Some of them, I guess, believe. I don't know. I don't want to. There's a lot of different things. Even in the Chinese, Asian culture, where they don't want any religions, they kind of like booted out the Buddhist, right? Wasn't that like the thing about Tibet? So every religion and every culture, every part of the world has like their own things that either they'll allow religion or they won't for control. But all societies kind of use money as control, whether it's the dollar, the pound, the what is it, the yen, whatever it is, whatever like they call it in that country. Money is used to organize society. Money is nothing more than something the powers to be deem as valuable, and that valuable thing allows you to do more stuff with your life. And now money can have a good function where, again, it rewards people who are productive in society. You don't want to reward people for not doing anything, because then nothing gets done. So you could see, if you're fair, that some control in life, some organization, some structure is needed. You can't have, without that, what you have is chaos and anarchy, and there are some people that want that. However, like any time, control can become, people get money hungry with control. Mr. Smith, $2 super chat. Let's all meet up in Miami on New Year's Eve. It'll be fun. I appreciate the offer and I appreciate your support, but I'm a loner. I got people I grew up with my whole life. I wouldn't even meet up with them. Not because I don't love them. I'm a loner. So I hope. Now, there's a lot of people that would want to meet up with you, Mr. Smith, but not me, brother, only because I'm a loner. But thank you, man, for the tip and the love. So you can see how faith and religion could be used as a good thing. Again, civil rights. And again, faith can be used to get you out of addiction. Or maybe not. You should have the right to believe in whatever you want. Money could be used as a good thing. It structures society. It rewards the productive. It could also be a negative thing where, people do nasty things for it. Anything could be good or bad. In a relationship, all a relationship is, like, forget about governments. All a relationship is with you and your lover is a control battle. And how much you and that, like even in the Bible, like that's why too part of the Bible is there. There's religions that believe that you can have many wives. In the Old Testament, in the Bible, they had many wives. Solomon had many wives. Even Wu-Tang Clan had a song about that. So now in the New Testament, say everyone, say you should stay single, but if you want to get married, it should be like 1 for 1. But a relationship is a control battle. A relationship is a control battle. Even if you have a pet, you control your pet. Control is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not always an evil conspiracy theory. Again, just like 1979, China up front said, look, you're not allowed to have more than one kid. We want to control population. Some people believe that when airplanes go across the sky, and right now there's been no airplanes, because basically almost every airplane is grounded. But they used to say like the airplanes were giving chemtrails, meaning they were releasing some type of toxin that was killing people. So now what's the theory? If there's no airplanes in the air, would they stop the chemtrails? So you see how you can let your mind go to all these different things just for the fun of it. But a lot of times when society or people or religion, when they're trying to control you, it's up front. Sometimes it's subliminal, but life, you need a level of control and civility, but you also need to give the freedom for people to figure it out and kind of adjust as they go. It's a thin balance. Life and societies are a thin balance. And when that balance moves, people get angry. And, there's sometimes a revolt, etc. But I want to address the population control and how I view it. And I don't think necessarily the coronavirus has anything to do with population control. Again, because if you were the president And if you found out there was a killer virus, what would you do? Would you say, all right, just keep going on, don't do anything? And then if mass people were dying like in the 1918 flu, you would be responsible. Some people are already saying like America acted too late. Right now, America has the most deaths recorded because of the coronavirus than any other country. Now, you could say that China numbers aren't accurate because they don't have a free press and their government controls their society to a big extent, and I think that's true. But I don't blame necessarily China for this because I think above governments, corporations control the world. I think corporations control the world. I think corporations control the world. Not South Korea, not China, not Afghanistan, corporations. Whether they're oil corporations, Walmart, Apple, pharmaceutical, whatever. The money bag. Because money bag transcends religion, race, culture. You can go and you can look at any country at any time in history and you will find a level of control by the people in authority. There is not one civilization on earth where there isn't control. Even the Native Americans had tribes, tribal leaders, war amongst different tribes. Every society has had a hierarchy based on control, the way life functions. Every household has a level of control. You're in my house, my rules. You exercise control over your children when they're young. And then your children exercise control over you if they have to take care of you when you're old. It's all a full circle. Control's not a bad thing, but like everything, it can get abused. And that's my main core message that I want to talk on tonight. Nothing wrong with faith, but any religion can abuse faith. Nothing wrong with money, but it certainly can go too far where people do too much negative things to get it. Nothing wrong with governments because they can do a lot more on a mass scale than any nonprofit can. Nothing wrong with a lot of things in life, but it's always the balance of things. And it's when things get out of balance that things get dangerous beyond just a population control, but to a point where it controls a quality of life that suffers unnecessarily. Sometimes, look, you're a point in history where you're going to have to suffer because life in this world, look, before the coronavirus, now everybody wants to go before the coronavirus. But before the coronavirus, there was plenty of people in society that still weren't happy. So you're never going to, and I still believed in reforms before the coronavirus. But I'm just trying to make the point that you're never going to make everyone happy. You're never going to make everyone happy. However, you should always look for healthy reforms and healthy balances in a relationship in society that are good for the overall well-being of yourself and others. All right, that's the message. Click the thumbs up, share the video, subscribe if you're not. Read all live comments, we'll go from there. Oh, Aaron, from Europe, $10 super chat. Aaron Blackman, well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Europe, man. Thank you very much for the Euro. The Eurozone's in the house, man. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Aaron and Mr. Smith. Thank you for those generous tips, man. Aaron, thank you, brother. Let me read Aaron's comments because he left a few also. I said, hey, watching you from the UK, shout out to UK. You're an inspiration to me. I'm 26-year-old minimalist. Well, that's a blessing. If you're 26 and you already realize the value of keeping it simple, you're ahead of the game because I wasn't that enlightened at 26 as far as minimalism. And he goes, you're inspiring me to do things myself. Well, that's wisdom. Good job. Thank you, brother. Heart emoji. Spending quarantine time watching your videos. Well, thank you. Stay safe. I appreciate that, Aaron, man. Love to you, man. Thank you again for the tip and for the comment. And for all my young people out there, middle-aged or whatever, but if you can get this when you're young and middle, experience life. Do whatever you want, but live a simpler life. Adapt an overall mindset that less is more. Because the less you own, the less you'll be controlled by others. The more you own, the more you will be controlled by those things and others. The less debt you have, the more control you have over your life. The more debt you have, the less control you have over your life. So if you are really worried about being controlled, the best thing you can do is exercise self-control and not fall into the traps of society that then you voluntarily give control over your life to others. Like I say, when you don't manage your life, other people will have to do it for you. So the best thing you can do if you're physically and mentally able is to work, live below your means, eat and live as healthy as possible, keep a small circle, and try to do things that you enjoy as best you can. But you get it, brother. So shout out to you, Aaron. Shout out to the UK, Mr. Smith. Thank you also. You know I love you. Even though I'm not going to do a New Year's Eve celebration, I still got love for you. Let's take a hydration break. Savat, what's up, brother? Great to see you, man. Hey, Sam. How are you? How are you, brother? How's the truck repair going? A couple nights ago, Savat had a breakdown with his truck. $2,500, I think it was. But I believe you're back on the road now, or you're, like I say, you're a survivor, so you figured out. Great to see you, Savat, and I appreciate you, brother. My man, Al Illinois, hand waving thumbs up. Happy Easter out there if you guys celebrate it. Whether if you celebrate it because of a chocolate bunny or because of a religious reason. Again, I spent I spent about 10 years of my life in a non-denominational Christian church. I grew up Catholic. I wouldn't even consider myself Christian now. I just consider myself, I believe in what Jesus stood for, and I appreciate the sacrifice he made. Because even Jesus didn't call himself a Christian, right? That word evolved as people labeled them. But today, if you are a Christian, what the celebration is Resurrection Sunday. Is you believe that Jesus ascended and that he rose again from the dead. Now, do you physically believe that, or is that a spiritual principle? To me, it's a spiritual principle. A lot of people take it literally. I believe in the spirit there's another life, and that's kind of like what we hope for a better life. But everyone, a lot of people do take the Bible, everything very literally. I don't. That's where I had a lot of disagreement. But I do take things spiritually for the overall good of my well-being. I think life is partly spiritual, mind, body, and soul. Like I say, faith helped a lot of people to get out of negative situations, whether drugs, relationships, or environments. Faith, again, civil rights movement, a lot of it based on faith. Again, a lot of people get out of alcoholism based on faith. So it can really help you. It can also control you because it's like anything else. Anything of great power could be used for good or bad. And there will be people using it for bad. There'll be people using it for good. So that's my opinion. Love to everyone. Keeping up with Brace. Sam the man, sunglass face emoji, and palm tree. I haven't seen a palm tree in about a month. However, I'm thankful for every day as best I can be. Next 3 days in New Jersey are going to be a complete disaster. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust tomorrow. I got to make it through Wednesday. Then after Wednesday, we start to go into the 50s and a little bit of the 60s with sun. So pray for me that I make it through these next 3 days. I will. How do you get through life? One day at a time. How do you get through life one day at a time? Good to see you, Bree. Keep doing you. Dude, what's up, man? Liverpool, UK in the house. Well, shout out to the UK. They're strong here tonight. I know it's late night for you guys. Shout out to the different time zones out there in the world. Young Yoda, I love that name, man. Stay blessed, brother. Well, you too, Yoda. Well, wasn't Yoda? Was Yoda from Star Wars? I think it was. Shout out to Young Yoda. I like the name. James, Sam, baby. What's up, baby? How you doing, man? Hope the rash is good. Hope you're feeling okay. Isaac, great to see you, brother. Appreciate you. My man Blanton, how's it going? My man Blanton, YouTube star. Click on his channel and subscribe. Support people. Open a door for them. Encourage them. If they're good people, we all need that in life. Blanton made a good video today about why he disagrees with Dave Ramsey. I agree with it. So keep making videos, brother. You'll continue to refine yourself. And in the beginning, no one's going to watch. That's okay. In the beginning, you may even look at your videos and say they suck. Unless you want to, don't delete them and don't stop. If you want to do YouTube, just keep doing them. You'll get better. And just look at it as a therapy session. Even if you're just talking to yourself, when you verbally communicate your thoughts, you're refining them. You can change your mind a month from now and say, you know what? I think Dave Ramsey, I agree with him on every point. Never be afraid, especially to my young people. Never be afraid to change your mind. Maybe today you're very religious and then tomorrow you won't be. Maybe today you're not religious and tomorrow you will be. You believe in faith. Be willing to change your mind. Be willing to change your mind for the greater good. Good. For the greater good. Never forget it. Uncle Arthur with the Bruce Lee quotes. Shout out to you and all my Asian MILFs out there, man. Date a couple Asian girls. I like the culture. I do like, it's like a give and take. Asian culture could be very disciplined, which is, I like that. It's attractive to me. But also I dated some cold-hearted Asian chick too. It's like she was too disciplined. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a give and take. Now you could date a very a very emotional Italian girl, but then she could also go very irate and irrational. So like, you know what I mean? Every culture has different like things they're known for. However, every culture has one common thread. We're all humans. And there's good and bad in all of us. And you have to find the people you vibe with and then make it rock. Cameron, Sam, it's all been planned. All I know, brother, is you and a lot of people out there got their first $1,200 check yesterday. So let's celebrate that. Was this planned by the governments? It's possible. But at this point, I don't put it past them. But in my opinion, at this point, I don't think it was planned. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say that. I can't say that. But what I will say is, look, if they want to control you, they'll say it too. I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings, I guess I would say. I don't really know the answer, but I wouldn't put it past anyone. Love to you, brother. Great to see you, Cameron. Appreciate your support on Patreon, brother. HIGG. Hey, Tatas is here. What's up, Tatas? North Korea, 0 corona cases. Well, North Korea, yeah. I mean, they're on another level, man. So I remember I was talking to one of my neighbors was Japanese. His wife was hot, man. I like Japanese girls, man. They're hot, man. But I had a neighbor. He was Japanese. His wife was Japanese. They were from Japan. And I remember this was like 7-10 years ago. And we were talking, even then, like North Korea was always like a problem. So we were talking about North Korea. They were in the news. I said, man, what you think about North Korea? And he goes, Sam, the whole thing with North Korea. I go, no, what? And he goes, it's all about the border of China. China's government keeps North Korea propped up. North Korea is like the size of New Jersey. Google Maps North Korea. They're very small. They're not very powerful or wealthy. Their main staple to power is not even their nuclear program. It's the fact that China backs them. Why does China back them? Because they are on the southern border of China. So China does not want like a South Korea on their border, meaning that China doesn't want an ally of America on their border, because then what would we do as Americans? We would put missiles and a defense base there. And then, you know what I mean? Like if would America want Russia on the Mexican border? No. Even in 1980, when Ronald Reagan funded the Contra, that was part of it, that, Russian entities were backing some rebel forces, I think, in South America, and we didn't want them pushing their way up to our borders because we want a buffer, we want a distance. So it's the same thing when it comes to China backing North Korea. North Korea, the guy is nasty who leads it, what we're told, and they don't report anything, just like China, but they ain't going nowhere, guys. Even if they had no nuclear weapons. Why? Because China ain't going to let North Korea get taken over by another country that's going to put a missile defense right on their southern border. And we could understand that because we would be the same way. So think about that. Mr. Smith, thank you again, brother, for your consistent love, man. I appreciate that very, very much. Oh, did I miss something? Forgive me, man. Mr. Smith, man, forgive me, brother. Forgive me for missing it, man. Mr. Smith. Let's all meet up in Miami. Yeah, like I say, I don't do meet and greets, not because I don't respect my viewers. It's because I don't meet up with anybody, even people I grew up with, even, my family member. I've been in New Jersey for a month. I haven't seen my mom. Mainly because I don't want to give her the coronavirus. I'm gonna wait till May 1st. But that's just who I am. But I appreciate you, man, and I hope you meet up with good people. Dude, spirit and mind are synonymous. Religion is a control tool. It definitely can be, and I've mentioned that in opening a dialogue, but it also could be a very liberating thing. It helped me in life. So your challenge in life, in my opinion, you should have the right to be an atheist or believe in any religion you want. But in my opinion, whatever religion you want to, whatever, you need faith, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be tied up into a religious title, and I don't even think it should be. But I do respect the good that faith has done for my life, and I got that through studying on my own, but also through religious structured programs. So it's like a give and take. Damn it, Rick S. $30 super chat. Damn it, man. Thank you, brother. He goes, hey, Sam, a little pocket dough for you, bro. Well, damn it, man. Happy Easter to that. And Gerald, $2 super chat. Please save him. No, I ain't buying another puppy, but I appreciate that. Well, y'all got Rick S., man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Blow out the water, man. Thank you, brother. Love to you and your family, man. Shout out to you, man. And Gerald, thank you. Mr. Smith, thank you. And Aaron, thank you. Guys, man, look, I appreciate that, man. Love to you guys, man. And what I could tell you, man, is I'm thankful, man. I am. My YouTube thing, man, in this tough time in the past month or so, we're going through the coronavirus. It's like a bittersweet, man. It's like my YouTube channel, obviously, it grew a little bit more because more people are at home. But it only grows because I was consistent before it and I'm consistent after it. So I try to share that with you guys because, like anything in life, like that's how you grow in life. Pluto, $2 super chat. You inspire us, Simmer. Well, damn it. Thank you, man. Pluto, shout out to you and Tariq, man. Love to you guys. You know I miss Florida, brother, and I appreciate your support, man. I was talking to my mom today. I said, Mom, I miss Florida, but I'm thankful at least I'm here with you. But pray for me. These next 3 days in New Jersey are going to be a complete disaster. Like 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it's going to be cold. I got to get to Wednesday, man. But Pluto, shout out to you. Gerald, Rick S., man. Thank you, brother. God bless you. Aaron, Europe in the house. And my man, Mr. Smith. You've been very positive to me, brother. Thank you, guys. Continue to read. Happy days. Hey, Sam, it's good to see you healthy and in a much better frame of mind. Thank you, brother. I mean, look, sickness is the worst part about life, and it's part of life. I mean, that's part of this coronavirus, whether you think it's population control or whatever. But I still have, like, bad days as far as mentally and far as time in the day. There's parts of the day I may be down, say, man, I fucking hate life. But what do? You just kick yourself in the ass and you keep pushing forward. And then you get past it and you have good moments, you have bad moments. But you're never going to be in a total euphoria. If you are, you may be on drugs and eventually you're going to crash. So the part about life is you're trying to fight through the bad times, trying to savor the good times, and hopefully you have more good times than bad times. But your health is key. And that's why I tell you, mind, body, and soul, try to take care of yourself as best you can. Self-care is the new healthcare. And yeah, I pray that, good fortune happens to all of us, brother. Thank you. Let me continue to read. He goes, always enjoy your live chats. I appreciate that. Keep it real always. I do the best I can. Never change. Yeah, man. I mean, that's why I'm thankful for YouTube. Like, look, I just be myself, man. Because if I can't be myself and be on here, then I'm just not going to do it. I'll do something else. It takes a while, though, to find your voice, man. And that's why I tell you, why you figure it out, show up. Why you figure out your life, show up to your life. And through that consistent habit of doing stuff, being productive, you figure it out and you refine it. You change your mind, you change your course at times. You have ups and downs, but as best you can, keep moving forward. James, Sam baby, I woke up this morning and took a shower. I miss my Planet Fitness showers, I do. And it boring, I went to the park and jogged. It was awesome. There's nothing like going for a walk in nice weather, listening to music. To me, some older lady today, she saw me, she said, sir, can I ask you something? I said, what's up? She goes, I see you walking all the time. She goes, how many miles do you walk per day? I said, I don't know. I mean, I definitely do 10,000 steps a day, which is about 5 miles. I used to do like almost 30 when I was like in like crazy mode. I would say now I probably do anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per day on average, but I stagger it throughout the day. I take breaks. I don't kill myself. I do mainly walking, not running. But walking changed my life. I told you, I said I used to be obese, and I do it for my physical and my mental health. I got to walk. That's why I hate New Jersey, and that's why I love Florida, because I like to walk out in the hot weather. Now, hopefully, if I can make it through these next couple of weeks, the weather will improve a little bit in New Jersey. Mr. Smith, I'm driving, so I want to be able to chat as much. But I'm here. Well, I appreciate you letting me know that, brother. Drive safe. Much love to you. Same to you, Mr. Smith. Shout out to you, brother. Keep pushing forward, man. Drive safe. H5. Safe driving, bro. Amen. Mr. Smith. Oh, I forgot to ask. Did you get to check out Rosie Monroe? No, I didn't, man. I masturbated twice last night. I went to sleep like a baby. I looked at some girls' old school porn. I ended up, like you click on a couple thumbnails and then you end up like down a whole nother dimension. Some old school porn, a girl named Christina Black. She reminded me of some girl I used to date. So sometimes like when I watch free porn, I'll look for, like, if I talk to a girl during that day, I'll try to find a girl on the porn site that looks like the girl I was talking to. Because sex is really all in the mind, man, for a big part of it. But sometimes, like, I look at ex-girls I used to know, and then I look for porn stars that look like them, and then, like, I make the match mentally. But like I always tell you guys, look, I think, and, for women too, I think, look, sexuality should be embraced. And sometimes religion uses oppression when it comes to embracing your sexuality. However, look, guys, obviously, I don't believe in having a lot of kids. I don't really believe in having any kids unless you really want to. So I do kind of believe in population control. If I was the president, I would probably tell every male gets a vasectomy when they're born, just like they get a circumcision in a lot of places. And you can reverse it when you're 25 or 30 and have kids, but you shouldn't be having kids in your teens because you're just too young to understand how much it's going to take a toll on your life. So, but I'm saying all that to say you have a reproductive system. When you walk, you're working out your cardiovascular system. Okay? The coronavirus affects your respiratory system. You have a digestive system when you take a dookie, put a dookie emoji in there. Your sexual system, your reproductive system, that's your sexual system, your reproductive system, that needs to be exercised. The same way your cardiovascular system, your digestive system needs to be exercised. Your body is a machine. Your body is a machine filled with systems. So why do I recommend daily or regularly doing masturbation to ejaculate, or if you're a woman to orgasm? Because it's healthy for your body. Okay. And it keeps you away from having unnecessary kids or being in a relationship with someone unnecessarily just because you're addicted to their body. Get addicted to your own body. That's what I tell you. So yeah, man, I remember being in CCD, which is like, yeah, Pluto's laughing. I remember being in CCD, which is like, when I was younger, it was like a Christian, it was like a Catholic school thing. And I cut class a couple times. I remember asking the teacher, I said, well, what's wrong with, this sexual part, that? And look, guys, at the end of the day, even the Catholic priests were giving blowjobs to like young boys. I mean, guys, everyone's sexual. I think that's too why they did it, because they were repressed. There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't get married. Okay. Now, there is stuff in the Bible like saying like being gay is a sin and doing this is a sin. However, do I believe in that? No, I think if that's what you want to do, you should be able to do it. Just like I don't believe the part of the Bible where it says women shouldn't speak in the church and slaves should obey their slave masters. I don't care what anyone does as long as they're not hurting anyone. Do I believe that you should be able to have many wives? Not my thing. I don't even think you should have one wife or one husband. However, I see the value in not having many wives or many, because it's a disaster. I mean, but there's places in America you can have many wives, like Mitt Romney. He's Mormon. Like, if you go to Utah, I think you can have a bunch of wives, man. Now, do I want to do that? No. Like, I think in the Muslim faith too, like same thing. I think you can have many wives. I don't personally believe in that, but again, I believe like when in doubt, don't get married at all and don't have children. But I do think, in my opinion, I would say if you are going to have children, I think you should have one spouse. Because, I think it's a disaster trying to intermingle all those relationships, because relationships are hard enough. So now I say that now as a mature, almost 40-year-old man, not based on a religious philosophy, but just common sense. Like, now everyone's still going to do whatever they want. But in my opinion, that's how I feel. Let's continue reading. Aaron, thank you again, brother. I appreciate you watching from the UK. And again, I read this already, but he says he's a 26-year-old minimalist, and a big part of my channel is about living simple. So why? Why do you want to live simple? So that you are controlled less by others, including your parents. Look, guys, when you live in your parents' house, you're controlled by them. If you don't want to work, you're controlled by the person's house you live in. Okay. So what do I tell you to do? Go out there. If you have the physical and mental ability, earn an income, live below your means, and control your life more. Now, if you can't, I've met great people online that can't physically or mentally work. Then make the most of your life. I'm not mad at that. Mr. Smith, $2 super chat. Thoughts on NoFap? It makes me needy as hell. NoFap basically means like men abstaining from masturbation. I don't know how they come up with NoFap. I didn't research that part. But they do recognize there's value in masturbation. However, a lot of them, there was one guy on this channel, he used to live out of his car. He did NoFap. Then he quit. There was a season in my life where I abstained from sexuality, like just to discipline myself. There's some people who do NoFap because they obsess over porn. They obsess over porn. And their entire day is consumed with porn, like they can't get off the website. So there are times in your life where you have to discipline yourself and step away from something completely. If you're day trading and your brokerage account gets blown out, you're going to have to go on like a 90-day violation, okay? And you need to step back and get under control and maybe not do that anymore. So it's like everything in life, if you're out of control, then yes, you should step back from something, okay? And take some time to heal. However, look, there's certain parts of life that are healthy. Now, everyone is different. Everyone has a different sex drive. Some people are high energy, some people low energy. Some people are sexual monsters. Some people are sexual predators. Some people, there's some people, they have no sex drive. And that's just how they are. So again, you should have the freedom to do whatever you want as long as what you're doing is not hurting anyone. But my opinion for the average person is a level of sexuality and releasing your natural occurring juices in your body. I think that's healthy. I really do. I like it juiced up, man. Dude. Good night, Sam. It's nearly midnight in the UK. I appreciate you staying up to watch me, man. Yeah, got to get up early for work, man. Well, there you go, man. Keep showing up and living your best life, man. God bless you, man. Everyone in the UK. Dial for Josh. I appreciate, too, if you guys click that thumbs up. Josh, hey, no, man. I'm looking to get a new dirt cheap cell phone plan. Okay. I heard Mint Cellular has plans starting from $15 to $20 a month. I don't know about them, but I have heard about a couple plans. Obviously, Cricket Wireless and things like that. But I heard there's one plan out there that if you go in like a 5-person group, you can get down to like $25 a month unlimited. And they're owned by Verizon. If you guys know, you can put in a live chat. But I have Sprint Unlimited plan. After taxes and everything, it's like over $8 a month. But what I tell you guys is your cell phone and an unlimited data plan, especially as a nomad, you got to have it. But there are other things out there. He said, oh yeah, Visible Mobile. That's what I was thinking about. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, Visible Mobile. If you guys are looking for a cheap plan, I've watched one YouTuber says that it's actually pretty worth it. I don't have experience with it, but check out Visible Mobile. They're owned by Verizon, I believe. If you get in a group, you can get it down to $25 per month with unlimited. I've never personally done it, but I have seen a YouTuber who talks highly of it. Josh, what do I use Sprint, and they just merged with T-Mobile. I've had Sprint for about 20 years. I've had them since Nextel. Overall, I'm happy. There's some parts of the country that they don't get great reception, but overall, I've been happy with them. Aaron, thank you again, brother, for that generous tip, and shout out to the UK, man. Thank you. Josh, I also use a lot of data for media. Yeah, guys, look, videos, uploading, downloading. They're huge. Streaming music. Videos and music are your biggest data hogs. You got to have an unlimited data plan, in my opinion. Michael, what's up, brother? Do you know anyone who has been diagnosed with the virus? That's a great question. I personally do not. Do you? I think that's a very good question to ask. I've heard people obviously online, but I don't know them personally. So I cannot personally say I know someone. Good question. Josh, no, man, I agree. I think religious, but I could also say this. I don't personally know anyone that got HIV. Now you could say, Sam, Magic Johnson got HIV. Yeah, but I didn't personally know him. I could personally say, I don't know anyone that got the measles. I could personally say, I don't know anyone that had a kidney failure. I could personally say a lot of things, right? So I think it's a good question, but I think I have to flip that to keep the scales honest. We can say, I did personally know a couple professional athletes, but you could personally say, like, you've never had a threesome. Now, all of us can say that, but you may personally say you've never dated Beyonce. So if you personally say you've never met Beyonce, does that mean she's fake? Does that mean she's like a digital illusion? So remember that. It's a great question that Michael asked, but remember to balance your mind. Balance your mind. There's a lot of things in life you've never seen, but are still reality. And that's a good point. Josh, Nomad, I agree. I think most religious people derail themselves when they take the Bible or doctrine literally. I agree. It's a very dangerous slope, and I've gotten into that slope when I got into organized religion. It helped me a lot, but it's a very dangerous slope where you can get indoctrinated. Dogma is the result of other people's thinking. That's true. Cameron, you have no obligation to make others happy. Cameron, we're going to put that on a t-shirt, man. That's a great slogan. Don't try to fix people. If someone has mental health problems, don't try to fix them. Listen to them, share whatever, and have boundaries. If someone has whatever problem, don't try to fix them. Respect them, listen to them, but have boundaries. It's like everything. I used to try to fix people. I don't try to fix anyone no more. I listen to them. If we vibe, we can have a relationship. If not, you're out of my life. That's it. I agree. Pluto. Sam, God bless you, brother. Well, God bless you also, man. I appreciate you, man. Shout out again to you and Tariq, and thank you. Rick, brother, all I can tell you, man, you blew it out of the chart tonight, man. And I appreciate it very much. And I won't forget it, brother. Thank you, Rick S., for all your love, man. Appreciate that. Was way more than pocket change, bro. I really appreciate it. Aaron Blackman says again, you're made we want to do a YouTube video to express my thoughts on minimalism. Okay. My mindset and my attitudes mostly as talk therapy. That's good. People can take what they want from my videos. Bless you, man. Yeah, I know a lot of people that watch me, they desire to have their own YouTube channel, and I encourage you and I support you. I subscribe to just about everyone who has a YouTube channel that watches me because I was once on the other side. I still am. I did a video the other day about 3 steps to being a YouTuber. I recommend that most people watch that. There's no exact science to it, but it's just like any other job. The main recipe is build a foundation, figure out a good name, good artwork, figure out a general direction of things you want to talk about. Make the subject simple and clear in the title and in the thumbnail, even though for the first year I didn't have thumbnails on my videos. And then just start uploading consistently. And don't give up, because the first year is very discouraging. Not many people go watch them. And continue to do other things that earn an income so that you don't depend on YouTube, but through your consistent habits, if it grows, then it's a blessing from the Lord. Gerald, thank you also, brother. He goes, please save this to buy another puppy. Nah, man. When I see boxers are my favorite breed of dogs, boxer dogs. Every time I see a boxer, for me, like I almost like start to cry. In one sense, I can't even like see other dogs. Like I see a dog and I get happy. And then also I start to get too sad. I think about like my dog. At the same time, I'm honest with you, it's too much work too. Why would I never want a dog? One is because like I felt like I was married to my dog, and after for me, being married once is enough, and you give your soul to them. And then also, I don't want to go through all the work it was. Having a dog, at least for me, again, I'm only expressing my opinion. Having a dog for me was a blessing, gave me a lot, but it was also a lot of work and worry. And money. Work, worry, and I just don't want to do anymore. I don't have it in me anymore to go through the emotional tax that it took on me. However, I respect and I thank God for what a dog can add to your life. Especially, getting over a relationship or going through a certain season of life. I mean, they could be a blessing. But when they get sick or they die, I mean, it just tears you apart. So it's a gift and a curse, But I love you, brother, and I love that you love dogs, man. I'm a dog guy, man. I love dogs. I'd rather see a dog in Starbucks than a person. However, with the coronavirus, ain't no one in Starbucks. Pluto, thank you again, brother, for your tip. And I appreciate you, man, and who you are and how you're trying to do the best you can to stay positive in this world, man. God bless you. Gerald, Pluto is a planet, not a moon. Well, now remember they said a couple years ago they're no longer considering Pluto a planet. So, again, life is not exact science. One time they say this and then they say that. Gerald smiling. Uncle Arthur, prayer emoji, thank you. Mr. Smith, thank you again, brother. Thoughts on NoFab? Yeah, I already broke that down, but I appreciate your tip, brother. And keep driving safe, man. Pluto laughing at Mr. Smith. Yeah, Pluto knows about that NoFab. Steve. Yeah, Steve said Visible Mobile. Check that out if you're interested in cheap stuff. Steve says he has it. Okay. Just got it 2 weeks ago. Okay. Compared to my Mint, 10 times better. I've heard good things about it. So thank you, Steve, for sharing. I don't personally have experience with it. But again, like I've never personally had Visible Mobile, but it still exists, right? So I personally don't know anyone with the coronavirus, but it still exists. So Pluto, Sam, if the weather is going to be bad in NJ, total disaster, get a hotel room. Nah, man, I appreciate you though. Stay safe, brother. Man, I went through pneumonia. Maybe even I had the coronavirus. I don't know, but for me, I basically have to be dead to go in a hotel room. For me, I probably will never go into a hotel room again. The next time I'll sleep in a house will either be a tiny house I buy or an RV I buy. I don't know why exactly. I mean, obviously I'm a cheap bastard. That's one. But number two is, for me, I would be more uncomfortable sleeping in that bed than I would in my car. The only time to me I would say the hotel has value if it's extreme weather. Now we're gonna get extreme wind, but it's not gonna be extreme cold. But I don't know what it is, man. That's kind of like how I feel. But thank you, brother. Aaron, I don't want kids. Lost girlfriends because of it. I can understand that. I appreciate you being honest about it. And I appreciate you telling that girl or whatever. Kids cost money, damn right. The government estimate that a kid in America costs $250,000 from 0 to 18. So every time you have a kid, you take out a mortgage for 18 years for $250,000. So if you have 2 kids, you just took out a mortgage for $500,000 and you got to pay it off in 18 years. Guys, I don't even want to get a Class B RV and have a payment for 20 years. So, however, some people, they have a lifelong dream of having kids. I don't want to steal their dream. Everyone should do whatever they want. However, just remember, when you have kids, you're bringing someone else into this world. You have to honestly evaluate this world and say, look, do I want to bring someone else into it? Because it's not their choice. They don't ask to be born. And if you do still decide to bring children into this world, you better be financially and emotionally ready to support them because you know how tough this world could be. And then he goes, kids cost money and they're a lifelong, I agree, all caps commitment. That's true. Like if you have a dog, you know the average dog lifespan is between 10 to 15 years. A child going to outlive you. So I couldn't do it either. Well, that's just my mental thing. A commitment I won't commit to. I agree. I'm the same way. I don't even want to commit to a hotel room. Me and you are very similar. I agree with that. Again, I'm not mad at anyone who wants to do it. I don't want to do it. Mr. Smith, I don't know anyone who has Parkinson. That's a good point. Does that mean it's a hoax? I agree with that also. Pluto, I don't know anyone with the corona either. I hear that. Mr. Smith, Aaron, my vasectomy, yes, was the best thing I ever did. I'm mad at that. I saved for my future children. I think that was a great decision, man, my opinion. I do personally know a couple people that got a vasectomy, and they all personally have told me it was one of the best decisions of their life. So click that thumbs up if you like that. I agree with that. Aaron, you're made. Oh, yeah, I read that already. Again, if you want to have a YouTube channel, I support you, and you know what it is. Aaron, at Mr. Smith, yes, mate, I would have one in a heartbeat, genuinely. Oh, talking about the vasectomy. JD, I have a 2015 Jeep Latitude. What's up, bro? Shout out to all my Jeep owners. I like your Renegade review. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have a 2016 Jeep Trailhawk. The more expensive model, but I like the black trim on the top and the tires and the four-wheel drive because at that time I lived in New Jersey where there's snow. But I've had my Jeep for 4 years. I have 150,000 miles on it. And overall, I've had no major issues. The issues I have had, I've documented. The coolant fan went. There was a recall on that. I had an engine coil that went. All things that I was able to fix for under $500. I never had a major issue. But overall, great. Damn it, Rick's ass is hot on a super chat tonight. $10 super chat. Well, damn it, brother. I appreciate that. I may be able to get that Corrado Axion Class B RV before it's all said and done, man. He goes, Sam, more money for the cheap bastard. Well, I'm a cheap bastard. Guys, thank you, Rick. Guys, I'm not even going to buy me a scarf, man. I mean, I'm not even going to buy me a face mask because I think I'm going to wear my scarf all summer long, man. When I got to go into the store, that's how I'm going. I'm not going to buy no face mask, man. I'm going to save that up for the RV, man. Rick S, man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that very much, man. Very generous of you. And again, JCD, shout out to you, man. Shout out to all my Jeep owners, man. I love my Jeep. I blocked someone the other day. They said, Sam, you should get a Honda or a Toyota. And I like both of those cars. I really like the Toyota. But I said, nah, not my thing. I like my Jeep. And he started laughing at me. He goes, Jeeps are horrible. They break down. I said, bro, why are you bringing your negative energy on me, man? I blocked them. It's like, guys, but there's some people just like that. Like I blocked someone this morning. I don't want to say his comment, but it was like a lot of people project their negative energy on you. And you have to be very conscious in life, especially all of us out there. Like, you know what I mean? You know what it is. It's a very mentally tough battle in life and physically tough. The last thing you need is someone else making your life harder. Now, if you want to have a YouTube channel, you got to be very careful because it's going to cut down your views. Because like I always tell you guys, I could have more subscribers and views, but I don't think my channel would be as successful if I didn't block people. I think at this point my channel is growing because the people that I'm consistently interacting with, we're on the same level, okay? So I'm only able to do that because I live below my means. I'm willing to do other hustles. And that's what I tell every potential YouTuber, anyone in life. If you don't want to be controlled, you have to learn to go out there, earn your way, live below your means, and then in your personal life, you don't have to take any shit from your father, from a stranger, from anyone. Doesn't mean you fight them, but it just means you don't have to deal with them. And that means that you control your life more. And to me, that's priceless. Like, you know, they had that commercial back in the days, like, this costs $5, this costs $10, but like this is priceless. For me, one of my biggest things in life is I want as much as possible to be in charge of my own life. I'm an independent, free soul. I don't want to be controlled by others. I understand the structure of society. I don't buck certain things. I mean, I'm a loner. You know what I mean? Like Mr. Smith wanted to do a meet. Like I'm a loner, but I need to have a lot of time for myself. I really do. Mr. Smith. He goes, Aaron, in my humble opinion, if you don't have a vasectomy, you want kids because you haven't got one. It's a tough call, man. Vasectomy is a scary thing, but it's interesting that most people will neuter or spade their dog, but they won't neuter or spade themselves. But yeah, guys, if you don't get a vasectomy and if you're actively having sex, I mean, it's only a matter of time before the puck gets past the goalie. So, you know, look, guys, if you're having sex on a regular basis and you don't have a vasectomy, I mean, you're just basically playing Russian roulette with the vagina. So what I tell you is, guys, and what do I tell everyone out there, man? Get you a sock, man. Okay? And what do I do with that sock? I just tell you this, you don't need a vasectomy when this is your sexual partner. Now, that's too much for some people. I don't give a shit. Aaron, Mr. Smith, very good attitude, man. I like it. Brandon, I witnessed my dog pass away. Well, Brandon, I'll take a moment of pause. Because for those of you who watched my channel, you know that was devastating for me. You know, it's like hard enough. It's hard enough to deal with death in life. Death of a loved one, death of a pet. Like, I found a couple of my pets who, like, passed, like, when I was young, they weren't my pets, but they were in my house. that they passed away in their sleep. I was the only man in the house, so I had to pick up their dead body and get rid of it. So that was like traumatic. But when I had my own dog and she got sick at the end, she had tumors all over her body, and I had to put her down. I remember it took me weeks to decide if I was going to like call the vet to put her down because I couldn't do it. And then like I finally called the vet and I made an appointment. I took off of work early. And then when I got off of work, I canceled the appointment. I said, I can't do it. I'm going to figure it out. And then when I took her for a walk, she started throwing up blood. And it was like God almost showed me that, because that was like the only thing that I can't watch her suffer either. But I'll tell you now, I mean, I can tell the story now without totally crying, but it's devastating. And I don't ever want to experience that again. Never. Now, some people, I'm not mad at you do, but to me, it's devastating. It's devastating. I mean, to take your dog there, I mean, nah, it's horrible, man. Mr. Smith. Aaron, if you're in the UK, vasectomies are cheap. They should be free from the government, in my opinion. In China, in 1979, they regulated that you can only have one child. They only lifted the restrictions in 2013 slightly. And they did that because the population was growing too quick. Rick S., man, like my man Pluto said, you're a legend on live chat, but thank you again for everyone for the tips tonight. I don't take anyone's for granted. Pluto, Gerald, Mr. Smith, Rick, Aaron, thank you guys. Rick, yeah, man, I'm a cheap bastard. You know what it is, man. Love to you, brother. Tomasco. Yeah, that Renegade review was excellent. Thank you, man. I ended up buying a 2019 Ford Escort because the Jeep dealers would only lower their prices if I financed through them, which I refused to do. I can understand that. Yeah, I financed my Jeep. I got 0 interest loan, but I financed it for 5 years. I just paid it off this year. I paid it off a year early. I struggle with debt, man. I mean, you guys been hearing my videos. For the first time in my adult life, I'm debt free. And I do want to upgrade, whether it's to an RV maybe or a small home base. And there's one like Class B I want, but I really don't know if I want to go in debt. And I don't want to like cut off my potential source of door dashing. I mean, you guys heard me tell a story. The bottom line is, at this point now, my biggest struggle in taking control of my life is, am I willing to go back into debt at all? Now, you can still go into debt and live below your means as long as you're budgeting and the debt's not too much. So, but I struggle with that, man. And I'm trying to go through a couple months of not having any debt to really experience it. It's a tough battle. To Moscow. But I had fun test driving. Yeah, I like their Jeeps, man. My 2 favorite cars were a Jeep Compass and a Jeep Renegade. Now, I had other cars when I was young that I wanted to show off and stuff. And they were fun, I guess, for that season of my life. But the Jeep Compass and the Jeep Renegade, man, I love them. And yeah, so shout out to everyone in the Jeep family, man. Renegade, Cherokee, all that. What's my only regret with my Jeep? My only regret is that I didn't get the tow package. The tow package is, meaning on the back of the Jeep Renegade, at least the Trailhawk edition, the Latitude maybe not so much, you can tow 2,000 pounds, up to. But I don't have a tow hitch. I would have to get that custom installed. If you get a Jeep and you think you may consider an RV in the future, if you're buying it new, get one that already has the tow package. If it's below your means, because if you're going to possibly consider an RV, better to have it than to have to get it installed later on. Pluto, Rick, you are a legend, bro. Blessing to me, man. I appreciate it, man, very much. Air Mob, what's up, brother? Rick, at Pluto, I enjoy Sammy's comments. Thank you, man. It's like therapy for me too, man, laughing. Yeah, guys, look, man, I mean, I told you guys, like with YouTube, it's a side hustle, but it's also, I'm a loner. It's an outlet for me to connect and share my thoughts. It's a blessing. So, and now obviously it's a burden sometimes, especially when you're dealing with a lot of drama. I try to cut off the drama quick, but it's very tough when you're starting off your channel because no one really interacts with you. And so it's like, it's like talking to yourself for a long time. So after 3 years, I mean, I finally have like a little bit of an audience and I'm very thankful for it. I don't take it for granted. I work my ass to get here. But that's what I tell you guys, man. If you want something, you got to go after it. You got to be consistent. And then not before you know, but over time, I mean, hopefully it grows, but not always. William, Rick S., and other people that help Sam makes me happy because I can't. Well, love to you, William. Like I said, guys, there's no control and manipulation. The bottom line is I'm a stripper. I'm a waiter. I'm a door dasher. So if I get a tip, I'm very thankful. But I don't do videos expecting it. You know what I mean? Because that's not fair. It's not honest. Now, obviously, look, if my videos didn't earn anything, then I would have to evaluate that. But I and no one else would ever have a right to, like, hold that over someone's head. You know what I mean? Because, guys, you're willingly doing it. So I appreciate it. Air Mop. Jersey sucks big time. I hear you, man. I can't wait to go back South Florida. Me neither, man. Now, look, again, I'm thankful for New Jersey in the fall because the only time Florida is really nasty is in August and September and a little bit October. And Jersey has its good points. Again, it helped me establish a career. There's a lot of opportunities. There's good diversity. But I know for me, I'm not happy here. I don't like the sun exposure. I like South Florida, man. Southeast Florida is where it's at, man, in my opinion. However, when I go back down, I gotta have an air conditioner, man. I gotta have an air conditioner, man. So whether I'm gonna pull a travel trailer, a home base, or a Class B, man, I'm gonna get some type of air conditioning, man. Mr. Smith, Sam is so positive. Well, I appreciate it. I try to share with you guys too when I feel negative because I don't try to be like I try to give you like when I'm down and then when I'm up. I try to be very honest. He doesn't even need moderators. I don't. Yeah, thank you, man. People know not to act up in here. Well, I'm not a bully, and I'm not trying to like be but I just know what's healthy for me. So, and it's best that I do the regulating because only I know me. And I take above anything else, above any hustle, above any you know what I mean? I take my well-being top priority. Mind, body, and soul. My number one priority at this stage of my life is I have to be in a healthy place. Because even when I'm in a healthy place, I get depressed or I get angry, but I'm able to deal with it because I do a good job at self-care. But there's been times in my life where it hasn't been easy to deal with, and I've been really struggling. It's because I wasn't prioritizing my well-being. So and this is where faith comes in a little bit too, because that's it. Some aspects of faith teach you to prioritize your life. Okay, and you really need to learn to prioritize your life so that you put things in order. Like you want to make money, that's fine, but it shouldn't be your number one. I mean, your number one should be your mind, body, soul. The number two should be fine. You want to make money? I want to make money, fine. But you have to have a certain order or else your life is out of balance quick, man. And then, like I say, you're not in control of yourself. And there's even times where you do everything right in order and you still lose control. However, when you do everything in order, you can regain control easily. Like, am I worried about governments doing population control? Look, it's something that it may be out there, but I'm more worried about me not taking self-control of my life. So, you know, I have that like order, you know what I mean? Mr. Smith, if you guys can avoid having kids, you can avoid being in poverty. That's true to a big extent. Studies do show more kids, the higher risk of poverty. It's true because they're very expensive. Same thing with dogs. If you only have to pay for, eventually you put yourself up in the middle class unless you're lazy. To a big extent, I agree with that, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, I can't wait to get to Jersey. I'm not mad at you. I love the obese Latinos. Well, man, love to you, man. I'm not mad at you. Look, there's some beautiful Latinos. There's some beautiful women in New Jersey. I mean, I just like South Florida a lot better, man. There's beautiful women everywhere, man. I mean, for the most part. And beautiful men. Because, again, I got women viewers. Guys, you know, there's hot. It's all a matter of what you like. But for me, I like to be single. But I also like to be in South Florida. To me, South Florida guy, I like the women down there, man. I do. Michael says, where's my Corona bucks? I don't know, man. Well, one of my viewers said last night, like I know Pluto was the first one to say he got his money, but there was a viewer last night, damn, I can't remember his name, Ball and Thug. He said that he did the research and the first $1,200 stimulus check went out yesterday, but it goes out based on your annual income. So they started with a lower income level, then they're going to work their way up to people who make up to $75,000. So if you didn't get your check yesterday, you're probably on the higher income perspective, or someone claims you as a dependent. So, like, if you live in a household and someone else claims you as a dependent, you're not going to get money. So, there's a wide scale of, the filtering that it's taking. Mr. Smith, do they have any big Latinos in South Florida? Oh, yeah, definitely. They definitely do. I mean, there's big chicks anywhere. There's big dudes everywhere. I got a wide ass. So, yeah, they're out there. But I will say, I mean, there's definitely even obese people, and I've struggled with obesity, but I would definitely say, well, there's a lot of big chicks I saw in South Carolina too. I mean, it depends, man. But in South Florida, in my opinion, there wasn't as many big chicks as Wisconsin. And I've never even been to Wisconsin. You know what I mean? So, I mean, South Florida, man, it's an active, hot Caribbean lifestyle. So there's big chicks and there's big dudes, but it's more like you're living a vida loca, man. It's not like big chicks galore. Like Wisconsin is like the land of cheese and big chicks, man. Like it's a whole different vibe, man. Mr. Smith, I got mine yesterday. Michael, do you think there is a conspiracy behind the virus? It's possible. I don't mock the possibility because there's possible. I just can't control it. The only thing I can control is my own actions, and obviously I try to ask for society reforms. I vote. I've had a nonprofit, so I try to get involved in society in the best way I can. But I don't know is the bottom line answer. However, I also don't assume that it's a conspiracy theory, okay? Because no one really knows unless you have factual evidence. And I haven't seen anyone put factual evidence. So we're all just making an assumption. Mr. Smith, whether you believe it's a conspiracy or not, the reality is we're in lockdown. Yes, I would agree with that. All right, guys, I gave it the best I got. You guys gave me a lot tonight, too. Thank you. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for clicking a thumbs up. And just do the best you can. Go after what you want. Try to live the best life you can when you have a bad day. I understand it. Try to get through the day. Take life one day at a time, guys. One step at a time. Mr. Smith, good night. Drive safe, brother. God bless you. Rick, thank you. Pluto, thank you. Gerald, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Love to you guys, man. God bless.